lawyers and all of us here put together.
I think the larger issue, and let Mahesh, because he's
so
also...
Why is Mr. Raja behind bars then?
A reputable lawyer. I have three questions. Raja is behind bars not because of the enormity of the scam, because he fiddled the system and as a public servant stole money. A. B. There is a money trail that is ostensibly being evidenced by the CBI in the case of Balwa. The point, Arnab, is it has nothing to do with sale of equity. It has to do with the ethics in the way the business was transacted.
Sohel, 1 minute. Sohel, the whole business was, and let me get Mahesh in at this point. The entire argument we were being fed, and I'm using the word fed, was this. Raja is the bad guy. We fixed him, we fixed his two little cronies and his brother. And now can we move on? There was no loss of money to the exchequer. Can we move on? So what if Shahid Balwa made money? Can we move on? So what if there was a money trail? Can we move on? Can we please move on? Okay, the TRS said pay a little fine out there. Can we please move on? Was the argument we were being told not once, not twice, but repeatedly. And that argument is not holding tonight. Let me get Mahesh in. Yes, Mahesh, what do you think?
Well, I think that it is a fair tactic on Satish's part to defend his lawyer, to defend his client by saying that, what about others? But I can assure Satish Manshinde that the Supreme Court today has practically told the country that we are going to exercise our continuing mandamus jurisdiction. In other words, we will monitor this case till the bitter end. It has also said no other court shall interfere. It has asked for longer remands, and it has said that Forbes, billionaires or otherwise, everybody must be investigated and there must be long periods of remand. The CBI must be given a free hand, no short remands, long remands. Take them in for interrogation and custodial interrogation for a long time. So all Satish's apprehensions have been allayed today by the Supreme Court. I don't think we have to have any fear. Nobody is going to get away. And Satish's fear that he's going to be singled out is adequately answered. That's point number one. Point number two is don't get emotional about your clients. You're a professional. That's good in the courts. It's not good on television channels.
Okay, Satish has the right to respond.
I don't have to be told what's good on the channel.
I would not lay too much straw.
I don't
let
need
me finish.
advice
I've just come in.
Okay, Satish, Mahesh.
Just hold on. Three, I would not lay too much store by what Kapil Sibal has said or what his calculations are, because the Supreme Court has already said that Kapil Sibal's unprovoked statements, his ex-cathedra statements, are almost obstructing with the course of justice.
Kapil Sibal's
and frankly, between the CAG...
Okay.
Exactly. I would say that a constitutional body like the CAG, is entitled to far more weight and respect than a politician minister like Kapil Sibal, who's hell-bent on defending an ex-crony ally of his like Mr. Raja.
That's not the issue.
I am on simply 1 point tonight, and let me be blunt about it. We thought it was over with the DMK. We thought it was over with Raja.
It's not.
Now it's not. We are talking about another political party. We are talking about other politicians, and Mr. Satish Manshinde is saying
I want to make one thing clear.
That his client is being targeted because of links to one political party.
I want to make one thing clear.
Which may be a fair point.
That I don't say one thing in court and one thing outside court on a television channel just because people are going to see me.
Okay.
I'm going to say the same thing in the court tomorrow also. That why is my client being singled out merely because he has rooted out money to a company which incidentally invested in a company in South India, number one. Number two, Tata Teleservices brought in Docomo, Singapore Telephone brought in Singtel brought somebody else, and why am I being told after 1 month of interrogation, after 1 month of having given my statement to the CBI, that what I have done is wrong? I'm sorry. Because what was the CBI doing? What was the CBI doing all this time?
Because there are all kinds of reports. The prominent telecom.
I don't want to go by reports. I want to go by hard evidence.
I think there is, much as I admire Satish, there is a fallacy in the argument to a limited point. Number one, please don't look at dilution of equity as culpability of crime and obstruction of justice. A. B. If there is a money trail, and no one of us in a television studio can say yes or no, if a money trail is established where money has gone to a South Indian dark glass wearing politician's family ostensibly to run a television channel that you and I can't see or understand, there is a problem. Because then that money has not gone because, that money has not gone because Satish Balwa wants to be on, a television.
Not Satish Balwa.
Sorry, Shahid. The point is there is certain culpability and influence through money being established by the CBI.
So you're saying,
and I'm saying, let it play out its own course.
Suhel Seth, what you're saying is, if somebody fooled the government...
No.
No, one second. Let me complete, Suhel. Don't stop me there. What you're saying is, somebody fooled the government and made 5,000% profit, for example. That's all right.
It's not.
As long as you don't invest it in
that is precisely Paranjoy's point. Paranjoy's point is precisely that Raja is behind bars for two reasons. One, for criminal conspiracy qua money, and second is for subverting the process of licensing.
Let Paranjoy speak for himself. He was interrupting you there. Yes, Paranjoy. Mr. Agrawal coming to you. Yes, Paranjoy.
1 minute. Yeah. What I want to say is what the transactions involving DB Etelesat, formerly Swan, the transactions involving Unitech and Telenor of Norway, the transactions involving Tata and Docomo of Japan, all indicate one thing, that the price at which the government of India sold that spectrum with a license to these companies was 1/7 or 1/10 of what its true worth. That is the point. The point is the government should not have sold a resource which belongs to the people of this country. It might be thin air which you and I can't see, but that resource was sold at a fraction of what it should have been sold.
Now, by that logic, under UPA during disinvestment time,
1/7 of its price in January 2008 at a price which was arrived at 7 years earlier.
But
that is the basic issue.
Paranjoy,
and I think that is as clear as crystal.
But here's the argument. There have been enough instances, Arnab, of disinvestment being done at a price that later doesn't seem to be fair. Look at Centaur Hotel. It was sold for 80 crores. In 3 months, it changed hands for 120 crores.
You see, this
point I'm making is, don't confuse equity transactions.
I don't confuse.
There is corruption.
So what your argument is now, and let me abridge your argument. Your argument is, there are corporates involved, but DB is the only corporate involved.
No. There are corporates involved.
That's what you're saying.
No, there are corporates involved where there is equity dilution in a joint venture mechanism,
Satish,
and there are corporates involved that have transferred monies to politicians in order to thank them for the licenses they've received. That's the essential difference.
One trail, there may be other trails.
There may be other trails.
There may be other trails.
Of course.
Yeah, okay.
The reason why I said my client is being made a scapegoat is because if you remember US 64 in 2001, 2002.
UTI.
Mr. Subramaniam was arrested, poor man, he died because of this case. He named 5 people. One was then the finance secretary, a former finance secretary, he is the former finance minister. A call even was made from the PMO. Till today, the CBI has not investigated that case and nothing has come open in the public. Because poor little guy, Mr. Subramaniam, was even threatened in custody that if you speak up now, we'll open every file. This is how the CBI was used during those days. What has happened to that case? The same thing I'm telling you, that time and again, 1 or 2 people are arrested, paraded before the court, paraded before the TV, and nothing happens to the case.
We have 1 minute. 1 minute.
But Arnab, on your channel, this is where we have to thank the Lord for the Supreme Court of India. Because as Tony says, the Supreme Court will now ensure that none of the scoundrels get away.
My next question is to Vijay Agrawal, waiting for a long time in Delhi. Vijay, tell me that, it's been claimed by Mr. Manshinde, I'm sure by you, that Shahid Balwa, your client, has supplied 10,000 documents to the CBI. What are these documents? What are these documents?
And why?
All the explanations, all the money trails, all the details of the companies, how the money has moved. Now this money trail of the channel which is being claimed, all these details were supplied by Mr. Balwa to CBI. And the CBI, he was visiting the office, he was made to sit 10 to 8. Just now I heard a gentleman saying that all these people should be locked up. So a person is innocent till he is found guilty in the trial. But the people saying, it is very easy to say that you lock these people away. Are these people the businessman, the person on the billionaires list? Are these the people who should be kept away from the society? They should be lodged in jail. And only on the basis of
course they should be lodged in jail.
And presumption, permit me to just say, let me complete. Please see, we are talking of this CAG report. Please see the first paragraph of the CAG report. It says that it is based on various assumptions and presumptions. In criminal law, you have to prove everything beyond reasonable doubt. You cannot
but in the case of Mr. Balwa,
I'm sorry, we know how the
beyond reasonable doubt.
We know how the criminal justice
this CAG
system
report
works.
itself says, CAG report is in the nature of an opinion. On the basis of that opinion, you cannot lock a person in jail.
But one second. Can I come in the case of Shahid Balwa and tell me if I'm wrong? In the case of Shahid Balwa, I asked both the lawyers of Shahid Balwa tonight, both Mr. Agrawal and Mr. Manshinde. Has the CAG documented or not about how Swan received favors by being moved up in the spectrum line over Spice Telecom for the spectrum in the Delhi circle? A specific charge which is there on page 29, I am told, that he was favored. You know, this whole first come, first serve priority by Raja himself. Right or wrong?
There was no favor to
right
any
or wrong?
of
Now let me answer specifically that.
I will challenge it in the court of law.
Okay, Mr. Agrawal.
No, let me answer that specifically. If I may say it on record, Swan Telecom was not benefited by this first come, first serve. It incurred losses. If this first come, first serve policy was not there, the Swan would have come with the flying colors. Please see, the Swan had applied for the license on 2nd March 2007 itself. Then they say that this information is leaked. Today we showed in the court, they say that the information was leaked, that the first come, first served criteria would not on the basis be on the basis of the date of the application. No. It would be on the basis of the payment made. But that report had come on 19th December in India.
No, I'm on 3 points.
Businessman.
I'm on 3 points.
On the contrary, out of 22.
Businessman.
Okay, yeah,
out of 22 circles, you would have got 20 of them. On the contrary, he has got only 13 now.
My question tonight is, and I want Mahesh and Paranjoy to come into this debate. We are looking at 3 things. We are looking at a remarkable rise. We are looking at an alleged link to a political party. I keep those 2 things aside because they can be subjective. We're looking, Paranjoy and Mahesh. Paranjoy, to you first, at the timing of this investment into this TV channel, the source of the investment and the recipient of the investment. And we are, through deductive logic, then saying, Yes. Paranjoy.
All of which are very, very significant. It was not any television channel. Correct. Or no, it wasn't your television channel. It was a television channel closely associated with the DMK. And Mr. Raja is belonging to the DMK. Secondly, what are we trying to justify? First come, first serve? Whether it's on, even that first come, first serve is being manipulated, whether it should be the date of the application or the date of receipt of the payment. Here you are selling a resource, a scarce resource, a finite resource, a resource that belongs to the people of this country, and you are selling it like cinema tickets, first come, first served. Who are you fooling?
Okay, Mahesh.
No one. The answer is very, very clear.
Okay.
You should not have sold spectrum on a first come, first serve basis.
That's true.
And thereafter, you're trying to justify all the manipulations.
The greatest irony in this is...
And what is clear is that there is this nexus. There is this nexus. And that's now out in the open.
The greatest irony.
It's out in the open for the whole world to see. And we should thank the Supreme Court that the Supreme Court has been proactive. And if it hadn't been for the Supreme Court, maybe none of this would have been come out.
Now, the irony in all this? The irony in all this? The irony in all this is that apparently it was in Raja's time that the Ministry of Communications also said about the Devas deal that there should be an auction. So they wanted an auction in that deal because somebody else was cutting that deal. I wanted one word from Mahesh. He's been quiet on this. Where do you see this going? I'm asking the politician now. We've seen the talk of the JPC in Parliament. Parliament's resuming in some time. Seems to be a settlement right now on the whole 2G issue. Seems there's been a settlement, politically a settlement, that the investigation carry on.
Arnab, that I'm not privy to such information. I'm only a foot soldier of the BJP. I'm not in the higher echelon, so I don't know what feedback the BJP has got from the government. But yes, the rumor in Delhi, in the Delhi air, is that the Congress seems to be in a mood to compromise on the JPC. There may well be a JPC. What? And look, while we've said a lot, ultimately leave it to the wisdom of the Supreme Court. They are monitoring this investigation. Yeah. Let's not anybody on this channel think that you will not get justice from the CBI, because every action of the CBI is going to be closely scrutinized, criticized and monitored by the highest apex body, and they're doing an extremely good job. Correct. And nobody should be in any doubt about it.
And much as we malign our country, much as we say the things we do about our politics, about our justice system, eventually we've seen that there has been justice, and
Yep.
this is a flow that will remain unebbed. I think it will come to its logical conclusion.
Absolutely. And we'll be looking keenly at what Satish Manshinde says in court tomorrow and day after. That's a high-profile case. Satish Manshinde, thank you very much. Suhel Seth, Paranjoy, Mahesh and Mr. Agrawal, thank you very much. We follow the story.